you hear me?
Yes, guys, welcome back to Blues Fans TV. Welcome back to another episode of the live phone-in. It's Chelsea 2, Burnley 0. We're back to winning ways. I don't want to be as gassed as I was back in November because you said a little bit too much back in that time. So I'm just going to keep it calm and keep it cool for right now. It was a good performance. I think Tuchel definitely deserves credit because the tactics completely neutralized Burnley and we kept them quiet throughout the game. There were solid performances throughout the midfield. Callum Hudson-Odoi went and got another brilliant man of the match-worthy performance. I can see Craig and the others smiling in the background. Big up Sammy and the man them downstairs. Do want to say smash the like and subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. And yeah, 2-0 Chelsea. Goals from Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso, the difference between the two sides. There was a golfing class between both of them. Burnley had barely any chances. Is that 3-1 leads? That's 3-1 leads. That's a madness. Yeah, to be honest, that is good for us as well. So, yeah, things are going up Chelsea right now. I think that puts us about 4 points off top four. I haven't taken a look at the table right now, but I do want to say before I get my first guest in, if you guys haven't done so already, check out the live OneFootball app. The link is down in the description below. The live review and the player ratings for Chelsea 2, Burnley 0 is already on the OneFootball app, and you can also check out the transfer indicator as we go towards transfer deadline day. Because we know bare rumors are going to come out. We know a lot of them ain't going to be correct. We know a lot of them are just going to be trying to shit stir and clickbait. So if you guys want to check out the most legit rumors possible, check out the OneFootball app. The link is down in the description below. Check it out and download now. We're going to get our first guest in. Craigo, what are you saying, bro?
What's going on? We all good?
Yeah, we're all good, all positive. 3
Big
points,
result.
Chelsea 2, Burnley 0. What's your thoughts?
This is a big result for us as well. The old Leeds game, if they can hang on as well for 3 points, that'd be a big dub.
Leicester, 9 points off us right now? No, now it should be down to 6.
Yeah, 6, which is big.
See how I say results can change anything.
Of course they can.
Exactly.
This is what I've said for ages. Everyone seems to have this conception that under Frank, we were absolutely diabolical and everything was complete turmoil and whatever. It's not been good, right? I'm not going to obviously deny that. But people are acting as if it's the worst, the worst we've ever seen Chelsea and whatever. We've dropped points so far in the first half of the season. There's no reason other teams aren't going to drop points as well. So just keep calm about it. Look, Leicester are looking like they're dropping points here today because I doubt they're going to win 4-3 in 4.5 minutes. So... I think there just needs to be a vast relax amongst a lot of people because it will get there. It will be fine. We'll get there.
Yeah, this result as well, this is definitely going to help us get a bit closer to it. And I already said, even when we were in bad form, we are just a couple wins of getting back into the swing of things. And that's going to be the case throughout the season. Talk to me about the way we played today, though. What are your thoughts on the performance?
It was made a lot easier. I said it to you before. I can't remember when it was, but I said it to you before that the game is a lot easier when you go ahead, and we haven't gone ahead in quite a while, especially in the first half. Oh, apologies, my phone's low. We haven't gone ahead in the first half, and it was an unorthodox way that we went ahead. But the second half, the vast improvement from the first half to the second half was brilliant. I still thought it was a bit slow and methodical at times in the first half, which is annoying. But, you get there. Do you know what I mean? You get round it. These things do happen. And look, we leave ourselves in a position to go and win the game 1-0. And then, of course, we keep going. We get the second goal. Great. Kills the game off at that moment in time. But really, we probably should have had the game killed off half hour beforehand.
Yeah, it definitely felt in the first half that we were good until it came to the final ball or a movement in the attacking third.
Yeah.
And then we're still a long way from being where we want to be in terms of playing the final third. But there's still positives to take out of it, slight positives.
Oh, yeah, and Pulisic as well. I mean, it's not only the fact that we went ahead and whatever. It was a lot more fluid when Pulisic came on, with Mount and Pulisic linking up, Mount and Hudson-Odoi linking up, various people linking up. But a lot of it came from Pulisic, where Tammy, I felt in the first half, wasn't really having the impact that a lot of people want him to. Did he go off? Was it a tactical thing or was it an injury-based thing? Did they ever say?
I thought it was more tactical.
Yeah, I thought it was tactical as well, but I heard an injury was mentioned, but I didn't hear anything more about it, which I wanted to be sure before I went on about my point. It didn't work for me with him, but again, the interchangeable front three that loads of people have been banging on about, whether it be Pulisic down the middle, Mason Mount or Pulisic down the middle, that worked really well because they were really, really narrow and really, really tight. So that was really nice to see, and it was really good football to watch, actually. I really enjoyed it. It was just the fact that we did lack that cutting edge and the person that was going to put it in the back of the net. But if you do this on multiple occasions, you know, and you go with the same front three, you build a bit of chemistry, which a lot of people probably say relates to FIFA and all this sort of shite, but it is true. Chemistry is a real thing. You can start to get to people who are getting a real flow with each other. The reason why Liverpool's front three was so good for ages is because they knew every single time where people were going to move, when they were going to move, how they were going to move, and then they become unstoppable. There's no reason why this couldn't be the same thing for us with Timo Werner, Pulisic, Mount, or whoever it be. But just got to get it fluid and get it a bit more continuous. And it will come over time. But we came forward and moved the ball really well. I was very critical of Jorginho and Kovacic in midweek being a bit kind of safe and not wanting to kind of grab it by the balls. But there was a bit more space in this game because obviously we went ahead. Also because Burnley weren't as defensive as Wolves were. So there was forward passes able to be made by Jorginho, which was really nice. Kovacic managed to do his thing as well. Even crack one from outside the box, which you don't normally see from him, way over the bar. But the fact that he had the shot, you kind of went, okay, well, different day, something you could work on. Again, you do that in a proper way, you're looking half decent. So it's not the finished article, which I've banged on about many times. It's not the finished article. It was never going to be the finished article. But this was, for me, was the first test, because the game the other day was irrelevant, to be honest. I mean,
if anything, I'm still waiting for our real test because Spurs is coming up in a few days.
Well, yeah, that's a test. That's a challenge. That's a big thing. But I mean, we beat Burnley earlier on in the season 3-0, and I don't know if we played them off the park, but the scoreline would reflect that we did. So we had to go and win this game. And I weren't looking for a 1-0 crappy victory. I was looking for a comfortable margin, and be it 2 goals that we got. But realistically, you know, the way that we played in certain times, they'd have had to have come out a little bit more depending on how the game went. But if we could have got a 3rd goal, it would have really gone, this was a really dominant Chelsea performance, and we did so well. And it doesn't make a difference that we missed so many chances. But the fact that it was only the 2nd, right the way until the end of the game, the geezer, the young fella for them, hit the post. When I think it was 2-0, I'm pretty sure it was 2-0.
Yeah.
They were still in it. You know, they were still in it because that's the way they play. They don't get many chances, and when they do, that was the idea, is to try and take them. But yeah, they were still in it. If we could have got the 3rd goal early, or if we got the 2nd goal early, and then the 3rd goal come in the 84th minute, whatever the last one did, then we've killed the game, and it's all happy as Larry, and we're all sitting here saying, "Oh, what a great start it is to Tuchel's, reign and whatever." But there's still work to be done, and of course you've got a big game against Tottenham. But what I really kind of want to get into, and people often say that I'm quite negative, which I am. I'm very positive at times and very negative when I want to be. This is a ginormous challenge against Tottenham on Thursday, and because we won today, let's not get the mentality that we're going to win the bloody league. I mean, there's still.
Wait, what? Well, wait. Say that again. I don't know what happens.
I don't know. Sammy's on a mad one. No, I think with I forgot my point now. Oh yeah, the Tottenham game. It's a massive challenge, and the Burnley team that we play today is going to be very different from the Tottenham team. Granted, they haven't got Kane, but they are still going to have Son and various other big playmakers. So let's not get into that kind of false sense of security being the I am, the negative one. But let's just realise that we beat a Burnley team today that wasn't at its best. They posed a decent defensive challenge to us, but I mean, either way, we made our way through. And to be fair to Pope, actually, this was a job we should have done. And yeah, I don't want us to get carried away and then all of a sudden we go, oh, we're going to go and beat Spurs. It's all going to be great. And then it doesn't happen and everyone gets fuming and whatever. Let's just remember where we kind of are. And maybe it's a little bit negative and whatever. We definitely can beat Spurs. Of course we can. But it's no way a given. It's no way a given that we're even going to, a draw or a close loss. There's nothing given in this at all. So it's still a massive challenge. It's Jose being Jose in it. He's going to try and basically shithouse it. And it is what it is. But let's just remember where we are all at. Huh?
How's your hopes for the Spurs game though?
I don't really know. It's just one of them. I think it's a game we can win. Is it a game I think we're going to win and we should be winning? Probably not. No. But we've got to go in the mentality we can win every game. That's the mentality we've got to go in with. The only thing I would worry about is someone like Ndombele, who is going to probably have a field day if he plays against Jorginho. So maybe Kante back in if possible. But again, there's so many variables with this season especially. It's so unpredictable. Who bloody hell knows what could happen?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to end it on. Craigo, thanks for jumping on, guys. If you want to check him out, Craigo28 Football, Craigo28 Sports, you already know, man. Yes, man. And I'll chat to you sometime in a week for a live stream.
Yes, we'll do it. See you later, everyone.
Defo, man. Take care, bro. Bye. Peace. Right, we will move on into our next guest. Who are we going to go for? Yes, Scott, what are you saying, bro?
Not too bad. Good performance, good win. I thought that we had sort of the opposite in terms of the problems we had against Wolves. Against Wolves, our passing was very good. Like the press was very good. We just couldn't create chances. Whereas this time, we had created loads of chances, but our passing was a bit wayward at times. We just couldn't finish anything. Like the Dave shot and the Alonso goal, like we could not finish anything. I thought overall it was a good performance. I think that again, it's like I think there were one or two sort of shaky performances. I won't say poor, but kind of shaky performances. But I thought overall as a team we were very good. I thought Jorginho was by far and away our best midfielder. I think that he looked so completely different to anything we've seen this past year or the past 2 years. He was playing the ball forward. He had that ball over to Alonso. That Alonso probably should have done a bit better with, but it's Alonso, so hey ho. And yeah, he looked much more assured on the ball. And I thought that, well, as I said, of the midfielders, he was the better one. I think that Kovacic, while on the ball in terms of driving with it, he was good. His passing and his shooting was way off. There were countless times where you and me pointed out during the watch along that he could have played Werner in, or he could have played like Mount in or Hudson-Odoi in, and every time he tried to play a pass, it was either under hit or over hit. I could name you three off the top of my head where he'd either under hit it trying to switch the play, or had a choice between playing it between two people and played it straight in the middle of them to the Burnley player. But no, I thought it was a good performance, and I thought that. I mean, I called Alonso scoring at the start somehow. I don't know how.
It's the most Marcus Alonso game I've ever seen in my life.
But I still don't understand how he scored that. I can't work out.
Same way he always is when he scores. You give Alonso space in a dangerous position, man will take that chance. But it's only in that sort of situation with him. Play to his strengths. The game was perfect to his strengths. I
agree, and I think that I see a lot of people either saying he had a bad game or he had a good game. I disagree on both sides. I think he had an okay game, but he didn't really get tested as much. I don't think he had a bad game because I don't think defensively we were really troubled that much. The only real 2 times Burnley troubled us defensively was the chance the guy Mbongo, I think, Mbongo had where it was offside and hit the post, and then the Tarkowski header at the end, which went over, I think. Those are only real 2 times they tested us. And so defensively, he wasn't really tested. Going forward, he didn't offer too much apart from the goal. But I think, as we were seeing, a lot more of our attacking play came from the right-hand side, from Hudson-Odoi, who was easily man of the match and looks weirdly comfortable playing as a right wing-back.
Yeah, talk to me about the last 2 games for him, because he's really just been proving why he should have been starting more.
I agree, and I think the problem always was when we were playing. Like, obviously, we don't want to keep going back to Frank all the time, but I think one of the problems we had under Frank was there are times when either Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic or both were being double marked, had 2 people on them, so they couldn't really do much. And so you'd often find that they were having to come. They'd either have to come a bit deeper than we'd want to get the ball, or they couldn't really create anything because they just always had 2 people on them. They couldn't really get around them. What we're seeing now, I think, with him playing a right wing back, we saw or heard from the report from Liam Toomey where Deitch and Brady were having an argument about staying tight to him, and he just couldn't, because I think the problem is where he's positioned, you can't have someone stick on him because it opens space up in the. If you're playing a solid 2 banks of 4,
yeah,
you can't go and mark him because it creates space for someone else. But then you're like, do I go and mark? I can't give him space because he'll just beat me. So I think we're seeing he's got a lot more space to run with the ball and do stuff and create stuff. And I think that just comes from Tuchel's positioning of him. He's adapted it slightly, and he now looks like he's getting the best out of him.
And I think you could say the same for a lot more players as well.
Yeah,
Jorginho, Kovacic as well. I think he's definitely gone back to his best in the last 2 games. The only thing right now is literally the final pass and the final third. That's the only place where we're letting letting ourselves down. But that's going to come in time.
I agree, and I think there was so many times when I saw Werner making a run where I could genuinely, he must have had double figures in terms of runs this game where he wasn't found or the pass wasn't good enough. And it's just annoying because I get this guy's not got the most confidence and he's not on the best of form. But that's you can't just completely not pass to him at all, because that doesn't work as a team. You're then creating disharmony in the group. And I think even the chance he did have, I'm not going to moan at him too much for that, because the angle which the ball came at wasn't the best. That's one of those where if you're on form, you just hit that and it goes in. But if you're off form like Timo is, it's not going to come off.
Everything has to come perfectly.
Exactly. And I think
it hasn't really for the last few weeks.
Exactly. And I just think that it will come. I know we keep saying that, but I think it will come. But people have to start finding him. It can't be a case of he has to create something all by himself, because it's just not going to work. He's not that type of player. Even today, to be fair, on a creative aspect, there were times where he'd get the ball and he'd be making wide runs with the ball to create space in the middle for someone. There was the one he put across the 6-yard box. I don't think anyone got on the end of. I can't remember if anyone got on the end of, but it didn't really. It didn't end up in it as anything. But it's stuff like that where he is still making the runs and he is still doing a bit. But I just thought it was very good, and I think that it puts us in a good place for the Spurs game, especially with them coming off that loss to Liverpool, where it's something we can build upon. And I think you look at they haven't got Kane. There's turmoil. It looks like between Mourinho and Aurier. They don't know. I don't think if Reguilon's going to be fit. So it's almost. I say this and it's going to probably come back to bite me, but it's almost the perfect time to play them.
Almost. Well, we said they're one injury to Kane and Son away from a title collapse, and they're already nowhere near the title. But they've now lost Kane for a week or 2.
Exactly, and I think their squad isn't in the best place either in terms of, as I said, they don't know if Reguilon's fit. There's disharmony in little pockets, and even when players are coming in, they're not looking like Rodon or like Vinicius or Bale or people like this. They're not looking as solid as they probably could. Obviously, there's still, as someone's mentioned, there's still Son, and he's obviously going to be a threat. But
yeah,
I think hopefully, depending on who plays and where they play, and how Tuchel wants to set up playing against them, we can nullify his threat.
Hopefully, yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. Scott, Any final thoughts? Wait, did I lag out or did you lag out?
A little bit. I got a little bit of lag from you, but it might have been from my end as well. I don't know.
It is what it is. But go on. What are you saying?
Just final thoughts. I thought that I thought it was nice to see. I think it could have been more comfortable, but again, that just comes down to needing to improve finishing. Like Mount could have had a hat trick, Werner could have had one, Kovacic could have had one, like Pulisic could have had two. It's like it just comes down to finishing. But I think it's the little things where you can improve those in training. It'd be different if we were seeing so many problems that you can't coach or train out of these players, but we're seeing little things that are easily coachable.
All right, cool. Well, Scott, thanks for jumping on, man. If we're doing a group call, if you're about, just jump back on, click the link.
Cool. No worries, bro.
All right, take care, man. Right, we'll move on. So I think Sammy's wanted to jump on as well, so we'll see what he's saying. Yes, Sammy.
Marcus Alonso. No, I'm joking. It wasn't even that good, but fair play to him, innit?
Yeah, man. What were your thoughts on today's performance?
You know what? Can everyone listen to me before they comment anything, yeah? Because everyone's going to think I'm hating on Tuchel, but I'm not. I'm actually rating him. You can see what he's trying to do, yeah? And I can see it. And I think he's going to need some time. And people need to remember, he doesn't know the Premier League. He doesn't know this Chelsea team. He's never heard of Odoi. He's never heard of Chilwell. That's why he prefers Alonso in that. He's going to make mistakes, and we're going to lose a few games, but it's for good reason. So I don't want anyone to panic, if that makes sense. I like what I'm seeing. I wasn't a fan of him when he came, but he's earning my trust. I'm starting to like him. I like what I see. The only issue is we've got this football that we've had a few years ago with Surrey, where we have the position, we dominate and then don't score. But that's the player's fault. That's the striker's fault, not the manager's fault. So I have a feeling that Tuchel's going to fix a lot of the problems, but we still won't be a top team until we have a good striker. Because you could tell by Tuchel in his interview after the game, he's still frustrated, and I like that. He's not happy. He just won 2-0 and he doesn't look impressed. I like that because he wants more. So there is a lot of things that still need to improve on in Chelsea, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I do think we're going to lose to Spurs only because Mourinho's Mourinho. The Spurs team are on a different level to us, and Tuchel, like I said, he's going to make mistakes. We've only played two defensive teams. We've not played a team with a top striker, so we're going to get punished possibly by Son because we're so attacking now. But Tuchel needs this loss of this. Tuchel needs this L to make him learn. This is how Conte won the league. Conte got smacked up by Arsenal. Do you remember? We lost 3-1. All suddenly this 3 at the back came and Conte won the league, winning 11 games in a row. And this is what I think this is going to happen to Tuchel. He's going to realise that this possession means nothing in the Premier League. But I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I don't know about you, Lewis, but you and me were moaning for a long time about what we've been seeing.
Do you think it's just extra possession because of the teams that we've been facing? Because it's been Wolves and Burnley, two teams that are just sat deep against us.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying Tottenham is going to be a little shock, I reckon. Tottenham's going to be the first time we're struggling in the midfield. So Tuchel, it's going to be a big test, like Craig said, with Spurs. But I like what I see. So guys, if we get smacked up by Tottenham, whatever, do not panic. It's not fair.
Yeah, talk about the strikers.
Sorry, but it's different. We haven't. What's it called? Giroud missed a big chance against Wolves, and we could have won the game. Werner could have killed off the game today. We haven't got a good striker at the moment. Not to disrespect anyone, so we can't be a title contender until we have that world-class striker. And from what I've seen, I think Tuchel's starting to fix the midfield. We're not all there yet. I still think we're crossing, inshallah. If all of our goals come from the wings, we still rely on the wings. We need that midfielder like Fabregas to pass forward. Even though I don't like Werner because he can't finish, but he needs that help. Like Scott said, Werner was flapping his arms all day today because no one was giving him the ball straight to him. He was making so many runs and no one was giving it to him. Yes, like I said, he's not good at finishing, but if you give him 10 chances, he's going to score at least one. So let's help him. We know he's struggling. Let's help him. So we need that creative player to score forward. Sorry.
Oh, you still don't rate Werner as the guy who's going to take us back to the top then?
Striker, no, but he see, the thing is, Werner, he tries so well. He does look good. He passes and stuff. So that's why I don't want him to be dropped. I like where he was today. Was it left attacking mid or something?
No, left forward or left attacking mid. I think you're 3-4-2-1 today.
Yeah, so he's not the main striker, but he's just behind, and I like that. So he doesn't lose his place in the team. It's either that or he's dropped. And I do like, as much as I don't like him as a striker, I do like him as a player. So I don't want him dropped. So I think there is just right. He can help the team and have chances to score himself. And then one quick sub, he's the main striker. So I do like that. So he just needs to find his form again. I don't think he's the top man to be a striker. I still want someone like Haaland, a world-class striker. But Werner can still be in his first 11.
All right, cool. Final thoughts. Let's get your thoughts on the Spurs match.
Like I said, I don't think what's it called? Tuchel doesn't know Tottenham. He doesn't know this league. He's going to make mistakes. This Chelsea team's not as good as Tottenham, so I'm not looking forward to it. But I think it's going to be a good wake-up call. So it's not that deep. But anyways, guys, 3:00 in the morning. Marcos Alonso high. Forget
Yeah. Sorry for jumping on, Tommy.
No, I just quickly say before, just to piss off Lewis, and I actually mean this. I honestly think if we put Alonso less attacking mid or up strike or up front, he'll score more goals than Werner. I was going to leave you with that. Just deep that.
Nah, respectfully disagree.
Look at his finishing, man. Werner would have not scored that goal.
He's only good in space.
Werner had space today. Did you see? We just missed it.
Yeah, and Werner's on low confidence. Alonso's had his first game in months.
Alonso hasn't played in September.
Exactly. He hasn't played since September. He can't be low on confidence. He can't be low on confidence.
He scored a banger.
I told you, this game was absolutely perfect for Alonso because there was no way he could fuck this game up. There was no way he could screw this game up.
We've seen him score. He always scores good goals. Like, he's not a good defender.
Yes.
He's a terrible player, but
every
he scores
single
goals.
one of them has come in space.
Yeah, but I don't care about this. What's this? What? Werner has space. He misses every minute.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
He's brilliant in space at left wing back because there's no responsibility needed for him there. It's just he needs to provide width. He needs to provide extra support to the centre backs. If he gets caught out, there's an extra centre back to look after him. If he fucks up going forward, there should be other players in the middle as well. So you never have to give him too much responsibility. It's just crosses. And even then, like, I need to see better.
Well, finishing wise,
Alonso is up top. Oh my gosh.
Alonso, you've got ability wise, you've got to rate his finishing. He's better finisher than Werner. Forget this space crap. If you give a ball and the goal target's there, Alonso will score more.
If you give him space.
Forget this space. I
can't forget this space because in tight angles he ain't doing that. Or if he's got a bunch of players around him, he ain't doing that.
Think about a FIFA training session. There's a goalpost and a football. You get 5 shots each. Alonso scoring all 5 of them. Werner scoring 2.
If FIFA training, what?
You know, before the kickoff on FIFA, you get the little training session. Imagine that. Alonso scoring more.
You know what?
Player, but finishing
maybe because that space, I might give that to you. But also, Alonso making a run one-on-one with the goalkeeper, the defenders would have got back to him before he even makes a shot.
Werner would miskick it and drop, and Alonso would chip it. I don't know.
Alonso would get outpaced by all the defenders in a 1v1.
Yeah, he wouldn't run. But Alonso, because he's good at shooting, he would do a long shot, innit? I'm not having any of that rubbish.
I can't be arsed. Thanks for jumping on anyway, bro.
Cool, cheers, bro. Nice one.
Yes. All right, who we getting on next? Yes, Wayne, what are you saying, bro?
Look, mate, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. What are you saying?
As you know, I told you I had a personal thing today, so I didn't get to watch the whole game. But what I got to see, we are still like progression from the formation and moving forward. I think Azpilicueta, he played as one of his best games he's had all season today. Hudson-Odoi looked like a new lease to life, playing at right wing back. I'm still not sure about Alonso even being close to the team personally, just because he some of the times he lost the ball today in the first half, and he hasn't got the ball, like he can't play the ball in. Like Simon just said about him shooting, yeah, he got the goal, and he can, when he's got that space, he can score a goal. But when he's got pressure on him, he just doesn't do anything with the ball. I'm not sold on the Jorginho Kovacic centre mid partnership.
Go
But
on.
I don't know. I think Kante should be in there 100%, but I don't know if either of them should be in there with him. I'm just not sure if they will suit Kante's game.
I think one of them will get dropped for Kante anyway. It'll probably be. I think it'll be Kovacic because I think they're both too similar to play together. Because they're both ball progressors, they'll both roam forward. You need someone who's going to sit deep.
Mm.
And also to Ben, who said this, when Alonso took the ball, when he got control of it, he was in a lot of space. Burnley's pressing was horrendous that day, so I don't want to hear it. But go on.
But it's just no, you're right by that. Before I forget, but it's just
All due respect to Alonso, great goal, good performance.
yeah.
It is
But it's
Burnley.
against Burnley. It's not
Exactly.
against
We
Tottenham.
need to
It's
have
against-
standards. Like I'm
It's
not
like-
getting overly gassed because right now the only top 10 team we've beaten is West Ham. We've won 2 out of our last 8. I am not getting overly gassed over a 2-0 win against Burnley. Fact is, the way we played, we should have got a result against Burnley regardless. The team we put out should get a result against Burnley regardless. So I'm not going to sit here and get overhyped about it. Alonso's performance, good, but there was no way Alonso was going to fuck this game up.
No.
Like, we have majority of possession, so we're in control most of the time. He barely had any touches of the ball. So, of course, he's not going to mess things up. They're barely counter-attacking. They had 2 shots the whole game, 1 on target.
Like I think Scott said
Easy game.
before, he only had one thing he did right, and that's like goal. I didn't see anything else.
Other than that, it was just he was all right. He was good. I'd give him a solid. Before, if it weren't for the goal, I'd be giving him like a 6 out of 10 or something. He was solid.
Yeah. But I'm happy how we're going because I've like I said to you, I weren't sold on Tuchel myself because I didn't know a lot about him.
Mm.
But no, the first 2 games and seeing the training sessions and interviews, I'm getting more like, yeah, this man might, if he's got an opportunity next year, I think this year, as long as he gets to the top 4, if he can get there and maybe win the FA Cup, happy. But next year, he can make a good run at the title next year with the team we've got and maybe a few additions. But I'm still not sold on everything he's doing but I've like Sammy said, he will make mistakes. But as Chelsea fans, we've got to accept that, but support him. Support the team, support him through this tough period at the moment and get behind them.
Yeah, I want to say that also for guys in the comments saying we're just using it to stick to Chilwell agendas. Chilwell is better than Marcos Alonso. Like, I don't even care. He's in worse form. But
Yeah.
Alonso's had 1 game compared to Chilwell's last 8. Chilwell is in bad form right now. He was one of our best players at the start of the season.
Exactly.
Chilwell
But
is a better left wing back. He's a better left back than Marcos Alonso. That is facts. I don't care. But go on.
Here's the truth of this. Since the Arsenal game, I want to go back to that. Since the Arsenal game, majority of the team, I've got no confidence. They're in bad form. There's maybe 1 or 2 you can sit there and say, I'm playing with Mount and Hudson-Odoi. But other than that, you're a majority of the team are in bad form or got no confidence. So that's why Chilwell has had his bad game. Not because he's the worst one out there. It's just because the whole team at the moment, there's a majority of the team have got bad form. You've got Reece James. He hasn't been playing well before the Arsenal game. We're going to sit here and say the same thing about Reece James. I don't think we will do.
Exactly, because we know the quality of the player. We're not going to flip-flop based on runs of games. We're going to look at the player's quality overall. That's why we've seen Alonso have a bad run of games, and then we stopped really believing him because the run of games went on for ages, and he was literally showing us nothing. Chilwell, we've seen what the quality of this player is, but we haven't seen it over the last few games. It's just bad form.
Totally.
At the very least, he's been dropped. Cool. His performance haven't justified him staying on the pitch, so he's been dropped. Fine, that's cool. I don't care. But like, that's exactly what we need. Like, that's just regular rotation. That's the squad that we have. That doesn't necessarily mean that I believe Marcos Alonso is the answer for us. A good
No.
performance, but that's it. Good performance. I can't be asked, Sammy, with this bullshit.
Well
Absolutely.
played, Sammy. Well played. But
Yeah,
you,
fair play. Well played, Alonso as well. Like big him
Yeah.
up for that. Cool. Yeah, but
But-
go on.
I've just got to say this though. All us Chelsea fans got to remember, for the team, they've had beginning of the week. It went rebarrel what happened with Lampard. New tradition with new manager. It was a steady week with a game. It weren't with Wolves, weren't spectacular, but it was decent. Then beginning at the end of the week, we had Reece James incident and racial abuse and everything. What was bad, again, bad times. This now come up and we've won this game. And we're now on a high. Let's all become united with ourselves, because at the moment we're going to have these peaks and troughs, and we've got to go through it as a team, and as a fan base, as one.
Exactly that. With that in mind, how are your thoughts to the Spurs game in a few days?
Believe it or not, I'm actually quite confident because we've not had a bad results against them away at the moment. If I remember right, a few of the away games we've won, like last year we won. I think we've had a good result. So, I think with Tuchel as well, I think he might be the man to out Mourinho. So I'll be intrigued to see what formation he plays, because I don't think he'll go 3 at back that game. I don't think he'll do that. But I'll be intrigued to see what he does do, because I don't think anyone can sit here and say that they know what he's going to do for the game. But I'm quietly confident. I don't think we'll smash them, but I'm quite confident we'll get a result, either a 1-0 win or 2-1. I think it would be 1 goal I think it would be, but I'm quite confident.
All right, cool. Well, Wayne, thanks for jumping on, man. I'll see you on
Cool.
later for the Rumble live stream. You take
I've
care.
got my drink ready. Got the drink
same.
ready.
I'm just gonna need like an hour or two's nap, and I'll be good.
Going in a minute.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna need this 12 o'clock kickoffs are a pain in the ass. But I'll see you later, man. You take care.
Yeah, and you, buddy. Yeah, all the best,
Bless.
everyone.
Take care, man. Oh, one sec. All right. Continuing on, who are we gonna get next? Ellie, what are you saying, man?
Hi, Lewis. How are you?
I'm good.
What did I tell
It's been
you?
a while since I've been like really happy about a victory. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. What did I tell you? I told you Chelsea are going to win 2-0.
2-0 seemed like a fair result. I think I called 2-0 as well.
Yeah. Look, it's a good performance. Another clean sheet. For me, man of the match was Aspi. Although, look, Mason Mount and Callum Hudson-Odoi and everyone played well, except, unfortunately, Tammy Abraham. Marcus Alonso, look, you're going to give me hate or something, but I think he should start against Tottenham.
Low-key, I wouldn't be totally against it either. I mean, the guy's had a decent performance today. If you want to keep building momentum on it, keep building momentum on it.
It's not only about that, it's also his record against Tottenham. It's like every time he plays against Tottenham, he scores.
Yeah, I mean, he's had London derbies in general. I'll throw his 3 goals against Arsenal into that as well. And if someone has that sort of confidence in games like that, it's not really that bad of an idea to play them against them. I am a bit worried, but I think I'd be just as worried with Ben Chilwell as well, because his form hasn't been that great in recent games anyway. But that's why I'm not even really trying to push a don't play Alonso at the Spurs game, because I can't justify Chilwell because his form ain't been that great either.
Yeah.
It's just, we need someone to actually just start turning up more consistently. But Spurs will be a more big of a test for Marcus Alonso, because I think he'll actually have some challenges to deal with in that game. He didn't have much to deal with this match.
Yeah, but the good thing is, against Spurs, I think Harry Kane might be injured.
Yes. I mean, that already gives the team an advantage going into the game.
Yeah. So, look, I'm very happy. I'm very excited, like I told you last week. And let's beat the enemy on Thursday.
Exactly that, man. But who else do you think stood out for you then for today?
Mason Mount, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum has been just amazing under Tuchel in the last 2 games. Kovacic was all right. I just want more from Kovacic. You know, I always say that his passing is good and everything. It's just in the final third. You know, I wanted
Yeah,
to create
I had
more.
the same feeling with Kovacic today as well, where it's just like everything he does in the middle is excellent, but the final pass just wasn't there a
Exactly.
lot of the time. And I'm cool with everything he does in the middle of the park, but same reason. If you lose the ball at the end of it, you've still lost the ball at the end of it. It hasn't led to anything.
Exactly. I 100% agree. Jorginho played well, but I just think Jorginho slows the game. Like,
At some phases, but sometimes it's needed. And also, to be honest, I think out of the two of them, I think Kovacic was better at. Jorginho was better at passing in between the lines today.
yeah. But look, I want Kante back. I want Kante in midfield. And I don't even want to see Kovacic or Jorginho starting together because let's start Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. Kante, Mount, and Havertz. What do you think about that?
Mount, Kante, and Havertz. Maybe that would work, but I think we'd have to change the way we shape our midfield for that, because I don't know if we could go with 2-man in the pivot for that. Kante and Mount might be a decent shout, but we've only really seen Mount in that position against Luton or the start of the game against Fulham as well. So I'm not too sure if we will see it. I think we'd be more likely to see Mason Mount, Kante, and Jorginho, or Havertz, Kante, and Jorginho. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and look, it was a very good win. I'm worried about our strikers. Like, Giroud wasn't good against Wolves.
Yeah.
Tammy today was
the right game for him.
We need a striker, man. Even if it's not Haaland, we need a striker. But look, that's it. I'm happy. Another clean sheet, and it's all good. Let's like I said, go and beat the enemy.
All right, cool. Final thoughts, man. Score prediction for the Spurs game.
I'll tell you another one. 2-1.
2-1.
I think Son will score for them. Yeah, and for us, I think. You know what? I think Werner might score. Why not? And Hudson-Odoi.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on, bro. We'll shout you after the Spurs game. You take care.
You too. Bye.
Yes. All right, time for the next guest. Pablo, what are you saying, bro? Pablo, could you hear me, bro? Right, well, I don't think he's around, so we'll get the next guy in. Fata, what are you saying, G?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. Chelsea got 2 wins. We're up to the heights of 7th place. We're doing well.
I'm still scratching my head on the way we play, though. We already knew what to expect from this game, and the way that we set up to play a low block. And Burnley actually tried to play football. But what I like about today, compared to Wolves game, is the mentality/intensity. And we spoke about this in the last Blue Balls podcast. Don't forget to check it out, by the way. But I just think that Tuchel has just taken this mentality to another level, because if you look at today, the team look harmonized. Everyone seems to play with each other, and there's a unite on this team, you know. And the fact that in the first half, I think we dominated that game for most of the time, but I just think that is because because Burnley gave us a lot of time in the midfield on the ball. And that's why Jorginho Kovacic so done well in the midfield, though.
Yeah, both sides did well. Both parts of the midfield did well in the middle of the park. We've already spoken about how we felt in the attacking third, but talk to me about how the defenders were today, because I think Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva's performances were very underrated.
Oh, rotting, man. If I'm being honest, bro, Thiago Silva has been crazy immense today. I think he dominated Chris Wood so far. There's a reason why Burnley had only 1 shot and 0 shots on target. The fact that they had a lot of joins around the box, but they're doing nothing about it, though. They're not creating any chances in that. And I just think that Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva has been underappreciated throughout the season, though.
Yeah, I think Azpilicueta, we've been questioning for like the last year and a half whether he's bulked himself up too much or just adapted too well to becoming a centre-back, and it was hard for him to revert back to a right-back. And the performances he's had ever since we've gone to 3 at the back have only seemed to justify that.
I think I think we switched the way that we switched straight at the back. That's the way that I like about Tuchel, and the fact that you can have like Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right wing, and you can have like left wing back as Marcos Alonso. And the fact that you can see Callum can go forward without tracking back, and I think that if you let's say we get counter attacking player from Burnley in there, and let's say if they had like the quality inside the box, and the fact that we don't need to worry about what happens around us, because at the end of it, like again, we spoke about Marcos Alonso and the way that he's tracking back, and I think just today it's justified that the fact that he's so comfortable the way that the formations are, the three at the back thing. I just think the fact that again, I don't want to guess about too much on Marcos Alonso, but I just think that the only time that he played well today is because the fact that we played three at the back. But most of the times, I think it's been cast out. I think it's been poor so far. I'm not to guess about Marcos Alonso, but it's only one game. You never know with Tuchel next match. He might go with Alonso again, or he might go with Chilwell again.
Which one would you prefer to see?
In hindsight, honest man, I just think that we got to stick with Ben Chilwell and that. And I know some of our fan base had a lot of agenda against Ben Chilwell, including someone with initial S. By the way, I'm not going to say who the name is, but I know who it is. And the fact that I just think that Ben Chilwell has been consistent, yes, and I understand that he's been carrying out like poor form recently, and the fact that he's carrying on an injury for about a month or so. I just think that he's been a consistent player so far this season. And the fact that I just think Ben Chilwell has been underappreciated by a lot of the fan base.
I definitely think he has been in recent games, because suddenly everyone's forgotten how good he was at the start of the season.
That's the only reason why he's so good, because of the way he played at four at the back. Imagine if he play as a left wing back. I think it could be a different breeder. He could be a different player.
Yeah, we had him at left wing back against Wolves, and we had more or less the same result.
I think you're right, though. I might be spitballing on that, but I just think I don't know, man. If because Wolves are different kind of team, you know. I think against Tottenham in that, I want to see as a left wing back, but I think it can change the formations throughout the game. But we'll see, man.
All right, cool. Any final thoughts, bro?
I just think again, man. I want to add someone to this conversation. The fact that he's the one that has been cast out this season the most is Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I just think that under Tuchel he's a different animal compared to the previous manager that we got, and the fact that Tuchel can turn Callum into prime De Bruyne and that in the 2 games and that. I mean, honestly, that guy's been immense. But I'm not get to guess about it because it's only 2 games, and the fact that we only play against mid-table sides under Tuchel for 2 games in that, you know, it's a. I'm not saying this is in exciting times, but there's an old saying: a journey of 1,000 miles, beginning with a single step. And I think this is going to be like one of the single steps that we need to take, and then hopefully to a good recovery this season.
All right, cool. Well, Fata, thanks for jumping on, man. I'll shout you for the Spurs game. You take care.
No, I'll shout you for the Royal Rumble as well, man.
Oh, you're jumping on the Rumble watch along?
Yeah. I've got mine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, well, take care, bro.
Yeah.
Bless. Right, next guest time. Tyrese, what are you saying, bro?
Yo, Lewis.
Yo, chat to me, man. How's your thoughts? We spoke a little bit on the live review, but let me know what your thoughts are still now we've calmed down a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we played well. I told you that there was only one performance I didn't necessarily like, and that was Mason Mount. A lot of the other fans tend to let Mount get away with a lot of stuff sometimes, but today I didn't think he was at his best. I don't think he wasn't he caused us the game or anything, obviously not, but he was frustrated in some aspects because there were so many runs Werner was making and other players was making, and he was just passing sideways or sometimes he'll make the pass and sometimes he'll just get cut up by a Burnley player. So he needs to work on his final ball. I never really seen a good final ball from Mason Mount besides that one that he picked up at Rennes. But I know he could pass because I watched him a lot at Derby. So, but he wasn't. But he's been limited for so long underneath Lampard. Hindered a little bit. It's going to take him a little while to get back to the passing, those crazy starter passes you should see from him at Derby. And right back to Kovacic. I think that Kovacic was really good today. A lot of people will say, "Oh, he's final ball and stuff," but that's the reason why I was actually more excited because that's something Kovacic never does, and that's something I was really happy about seeing. He was attempting it. I know that over time he's
That's
gonna get
actually a
that.
decent way of looking at it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm happy about he's actually attempting the longer balls now instead of just the good sharp passes that we know that he's good at already.
Yeah,
And
the long balls are really good today. I can give him that.
yeah, and Kovacic, as we all know, is a special type of midfielder. He's that one midfielder that's not going to give you any goals and not really going to give you tons of assists, but he's an important player to play, because he's just so press resistant and he can move the ball forward so efficiently. That's the reason why. He's such an important player for us. I think he was good today before coping with the press. Um, but as you said, the final balls from him was probably what frustrated a lot of you guys. But I was actually a bit happy to see him do that more because he wasn't doing that at all underneath Lampard and not really underneath Sarri either. So
I'll
I'm
say that,
impressed.
but his performances under Lampard, I think, were very 50-50. Like, you could blame
Ah,
Lampard for the way the tactics were, but the same way the
yeah.
way Kovacic was moving, he dipped it
Yeah,
himself.
that's true. That is fair to say because everyone always goes through a rough patch, and now
Yeah,
underneath,
definitely. Like, there was plenty of players who were in bad form at
yeah,
that point too.
underneath the new manager, he's looking better. I think Jorginho, and you know, I'm not a big Jorginho fan at all. Like, generally, he's along with Alonso, he's probably the player that I dislike the most on our team. But look, hey, if Tuchel could get a tune out of him and make him into some sort of ball like Verratti or something, why not keep him? He's looking good. He's improved defensively. Even underneath Lampard, he improved defensively to me, a little bit. Um, his passing today was breaking the lanes as I saw earlier, but I still think that um if Jorginho is in that role, I still want to see him doing those long balls that Kovacic was doing. Like, I don't know if after a while and Kovacic is trying the long ball and it's not working out too well, maybe Tuchel could just give it to give that role to Jorginho because he's better at that role, but with dinking the ball over the top. Kovacic, you know, he never really did that underneath Zidane, underneath Lampard, underneath Sarri. So this is a new thing for him, but he's a quality midfielder, so we're gonna get that out of out of Kovacic. Jorginho, to me, his passing is really good. And the thing is that really impressed me, he dealt with the press so well. And usually, I mean, when he came into his first season and early on in the season last season, and his first season with Sarri, he was struggling to deal with the press of the Premier League. But now he's looking a bit more comfortable. He's not a physical player, so he usually needs to do a lot of maneuvers like 60s and certain skills and stuff to get out of certain situations, which is fair because he's not strong. The forward line, as we know, we've been having problems with the final third. Like, we've seen it with Lampard, and we can't just be like, hey, it's gonna immediately change, you know, with underneath Thomas Tuchel. The final third was not Lampard's fault that we were not scoring proper goals as players. So that's the one thing that I didn't criticize Lampard for. It was just the tactics. But to Tuchel now, he has a task on his hand to try and get the scoring goals now and be better in the finishing our chances. Because at the end of the day, I'm impressed with the way we played and we scored 2 goals, but the 2 goals were from was from 2 defenders, and I don't really want my 2 defenders scoring goals for me. As you said, as Abraham, I could have seen the tactical decision. I don't know if Tuchel took off Tammy because of a bad performance, because I don't think Tuchel could be that ruthless like that in his second game. I think it was just more of a tactical decision because look, he brought on Pulisic, he got an assist. He needed someone to drive at the players more because Burnley, they're a very, very, very well organized unit. So he needed that person to pick open the lock, and Pulisic was that player. I don't really think it was like a hair dry treatment on Tammy Abraham, like shouting at him or anything that he wasn't doing good enough. I just think it was a tactical decision but he was for sure our worst player. And I'm not really a fan of Tammy Abraham either. So it's always Tammy Abraham, Alonso, or Jorginho, the three players I would publicly criticize because they just genuinely have agendas towards them, if I'm being honest. But Tammy Abraham, he needs to work on controlling the ball and holding up and hold up play. I don't know why he struggles with it so much. He's the only striker that I can think about that we have that was just so terrible with holding the ball. Werner, he's still not he still doesn't look good, but at least I can see that he has more determination because look, he took 2 shots today and Pope got down and saved them. There weren't any shots that threatened the goalkeeper or anything, but he wasn't doing that underneath Lampard. He was just like lost and just playing stinky. But at least if he's getting in those situations and he knows what to do, I'll be very happy. But I still think that he needs a big quality striker like a Haaland to play off of for us to get the best out of Timo Werner, or Tuchel could actually get the best out of Werner. But that only time will tell. Other than that, in midfield we completely dominated the game. The stat shows that they had 1 shot, and it's not even a proper shot really. 0 on target. We were really good moving forward, but we were poor in the final third in certain situations, and we must improve on that. So I think that's the only task Tuchel should have at his hand. It's going to take some time. So if we could go to Spurs and get a result, it shows that how good of a manager he is to get that into the players' heads so quickly. When we have to play Spurs, Tuesday or Wednesday?
We play Spurs on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Monday will be a rest day. Tuesday, and I guess Tuesday and Wednesday will be training for the players then. So that's 2 training sessions for him to probably get more of what he wants in the team, and at least like he's getting results. As I said, he's getting results during the transitional phase. Like when Lampard came with that new style of the season. At the start of the season, we beat Brighton 3-1, but we didn't play well. Then we went to Liverpool, we lost. Then we went to West Brom and we drew, which again we should have really. We were picking up poor results in the start of the season, and this is a new manager. He has a clear way of what he wants to play, and there was a point that Sammy made when he was on that possession doesn't work in Premier League, and I don't think I agree with that one because Man City plays possession. And they won 2 Premier League titles back to back. Yeah, they fell off a little bit last.
Yeah, it all
season,
depends on the system and how strong the system is.
Yeah, and it was not the system that let them down that they didn't win the Premier League last season or right now. It's just that some of their players were out and they're missing players like old girl, like Company, David Silva, those are the players that were there. And Aguero is getting down now. It's just that Man City declined a little, not even a lot, just a little. Possession works in Premier League if you have a manager with a clear-cut plan and with clinical players. And the only thing is, if you're playing possession football and you're countering it as well, you have to have a clinical forward man. And right now, I can't pick up a clinical forward that we have right now, and that's something he has to really seriously work on. The thing is that that's the only thing I don't agree with when it comes to Sammy. And I kind of. What he said about he's probably going to lose to Spurs because it's going to be a big game. I don't want to keep that attitude and then go into Spurs and lose. And I want to be positive as possible. I personally do think that we can beat Spurs. Like, if we play Spurs right now, this is the best time we're playing Tottenham. And we drew with them when they had their best 11. And this is the best time to play Tottenham. They don't have no Harry Kane. That's their main source of creativity. And he scores them goals as well. And then their midfield is not that creative besides Ndombele. So, and Ndombele can't really pull all the strings to get in that Tottenham team. And he's not even like a player that Mourinho fancies 100% because he knows he's not capable of pulling all the strings to get in that Tottenham side. So, to put that on Ndombele to control the game against a big team at Chelsea with a top manager, like Thomas Tuchel, is going to be really difficult. I do think we're going to approach Spurs the same way we approached Wolves and Burnley. But people say that Tottenham is an attacking team. They're not an attacking team. They're low block as well. Jose Mourinho, we had Mourinho. They just counter, like Burnley's a low block and they try to counter, but they don't have the players to counter properly, so they don't score goals from open play. That's why they score so much from set pieces. Wolves, they played on the counter with when they have a big striker in the middle, Raul Jimenez. He's missing now, so they're struggling. Spurs, they play on the counter because they have good quality. They play low block and play on the counter because they have quality players and can score a lot of goals. But without Harry Kane, that's going to be difficult. And this is really weird that we got Tuchel when we were approaching 3 low blocks, man. So if we approach them the same way we did with Burnley, with better finishing, yeah, we could beat Tottenham. I'm genuinely not really afraid of Tottenham. I saw them against Liverpool. They weren't that great. Even with or without Harry Kane, they didn't look that great. So I'm not afraid of Spurs. If they beat us, fine. Tuchel is a manager that picks up these other things that he will fix it out. If he loses, I'm not going to be that angry because if it's a tactical problem, he's going to fix it immediately. He's that sort of manager. So I'm not that angry in terms of I'm not. I said I'm happy. I'm happy about the performance today, and I'm happy that we're coming together as a team. This is going to be a process, and I just beg the board to give Tuchel time. Even if he fall short of Champions League football, give him time. I don't really want to sit out of Champions League football, but it's going to be difficult for a new manager to come in the league to get us top 4. But we're only a couple points off top 4 now, so I know that we're going to make top 4 100%. I never really had any doubts with that. But the worst case scenario, yeah, I never had any doubts with it because the thing is, Lewis, there's certain situations when a team is going to a poor form. It was never none of our players that was letting us know that sort of way. It was always the manager. Like 1 or 2 games, probably some of the players will let us know, obviously, because they weren't playing for the manager at some point. But Lampard completely let us down in certain games. Now we have a new manager, a new clear-cut path. A lot of people would probably say that I worship Tuchel a lot. But the thing is that I was never really like a massive Tuchel fan until I deeply analyzed the sort of manager he was after the Champions League final. And I think that at the moment we have a clear-cut plan of how we're going to approach these games. So now it's just a matter of consistency and being clinical. Spurs is a big test. We got to go into that with a right mindset. It's a London derby. It's our biggest rivals. I think Thomas Tuchel knows that already, and he's a Tottenham fan. So Thomas Tuchel is a Tottenham fan, bro. So maybe he studies Tottenham a fair bit. We don't know that. So if he studies Tottenham a fair bit, maybe we can go in there and beat them. And that's the reason why I'm not having any fear of Spurs, because he's a very good manager when it comes to detail. Because, for example, he played Alonso today because of the extra height. And that's what we needed for a detailed manager like that. We didn't and a manager that plays players in the right position. And I'm really, really impressed how he's dealing with Cho, man. Like I never seen Hudson-Odoi trap back that sort of way for us back in the past that well. But his work rate was always amazing with Cho. But the final product sometimes will let you down. But no, he looked so confident in 2 games. So we all knew that this was what Joe was capable of, but Lampard just wasn't playing him enough. And he's such a young, hungry talent, such a talented player. And I just beg that we can hold on to him for the next. I hope he could become the next Marcus Rashford for us. Well, not for us, but Marcus Rashford came through the academy, Manchester, born, stayed at Manchester, and is probably going to stay at Manchester United his whole life. That's what I want to happen to Callum Hudson-Odoi. We have to hold on to him. He's a brilliant player. I just beg that Tuchel gets the best of the squad. And another thing, before I go, I'm really impressed with the management. He left out Ziyech today. That's something that Lampard made a lot of mistakes with. That he would usually rush back Ziyech. He would usually rush back Pulisic a bit. But he completely left out Ziyech today because he said, you know what, it didn't make any sense playing him for 30 minutes and then he get injured in 15. So he completely left him out. And I'm really impressed with that. And he seems that he knows what he's doing. If we do lose to Spurs, I do know that he's a detailed manager and we're going to bounce back in the next game because that's the sort of coach he is. And that's the reason why that's the only reason I trust Thomas Tuchel 100% is because he pays very close attention to detail. And that's something you don't really get with regular managers. You get managers like Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, and I guess Thomas Tuchel comes into that bracket. So I'm impressed with where we're playing. We have to move on now to Spurs. And then I'm going to have to check the fixtures after that. But
After
look good,
that,
man.
it's Sheffield United, Barnsley, and Newcastle.
Yeah, those are winnable fixtures, so I'm not really impressed. I'm not really afraid for any games until probably Man United at the end of February. That's when we have them.
Mm.
Yeah, and then
All right,
we also have Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed with the way we defended as well. I don't know if he's gonna keep this shape going forward, but I do think he's gonna keep the same shape against Tottenham because this is another low block, as I said. So, if he's approaching this fight, the batting for the low blocks, fine. If we're gonna approach Tottenham the best low block in the league, we're gonna have to play this formation, and we're gonna have to be clinical 100%.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on, bro. We'll shout you for after the Spurs game. Yeah, I'll shout you for after the Tottenham game.
Yeah. Don't forget to help me out, Lewis.
Oh yeah. We'll do, G. We'll do.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
Right. Moving swiftly on to the next guest. Who's about Vitmus? What are you saying, bro?
Yo, what going?
I'm good. What are you saying, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me on again.
Of course.
Been a while since I've been on here, but yeah. But good game, good result for the guys. Tuchel. I'm not gonna be too hyped up about Tuchel as yet. I think he needs time. So it's what so far what he has done with the players, it is good, but I think it's also the fact that the previous manager is no longer here. So it's a lot of things, but I can see that the players are now playing with that desire to win games and try to perform. And apart from that, I'm all good. I didn't get to watch the first half, I said earlier in the review, but for the second half, excellent football. It's the first time I've watched Chelsea actually stopping a team from getting a shot on target like that. I don't know if that's Tuchel or it's just the guys just playing well again, but honestly, the way they defended today, come on, we know Burnley. Burnley always gives us, even when we beat them, they always got a shot or they always score a goal. So for them not to register a shot on target, which was only one the whole game, and it wasn't even on target, it's a good move for Chelsea going forward, man, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, our defense has gone back to being its solid best again. Granted, with the extra man at the back and Burnley again barely even getting past our midfield line, let alone back to the attacking third. It was easy for us, but it was the sort of confidence-building performance that you wanted to see because we finally got off the mark under Thomas Tuchel. And with Spurs coming in hand as well, I do feel like that's going to be the real test for us. But there was a couple solid performances in there that will give us good spirits going into that game.
Yeah, I think the Spurs game could go either way, as it's a derby match. It's not easy. If it was just like maybe playing against not really West Ham, like Everton or someone else in the top half of the table, then I may be optimistic about it and saying we're definitely going to win. But I think with the Spurs game, it's gonna be tricky. But this will also show us how good Tuchel will be against another manager that's going to try to use tactics against him. So that game is going to be tactics versus tactics. Who can play and win the mind game, which we all know Mourinho is good at that. So this is Tuchel's first test. I mean, it's a bit too quick for him, but as a top manager, as he would put himself, I think it can't be too quick. He has to be ready for the likes of Mourinho. Is going to toy with him in the game, and it all too goes back to the players. How well they'll play against their former coach and things like that. So we all know the fight we have with Mourinho now, with him coaching other clubs when it's not Chelsea. So it should be an interesting game, and I can't wait for it. Despite the results, I'm still good either way. As long as we can get a point in that game, as long as we avoid defeat, I'm good. I'm good going forward because Tuchel. I'm saying Lampard needed time, but Lampard don't have that managerial background or experience.
No, but Lampard had more time. 18
months.
No,
That's what I'm saying. So we can't really judge Tuchel after maybe 4 or 5 games. I think he needs the rest of this season to actually know what he's going to do with the players. He needs to know which players he don't want in the squad, and he needs to know, find out his best 11. And I said Tyree said something about ZH. I think ZH is still in the team. It's just a fact that, as I said in the review, that he's just trying out. He's used these two teams, these Wolves and Burnley, as you know, they are teams that are going to sit back against Chelsea. So he used those both teams to find the crop of players he'd like to work with in his system. And I don't mind playing a back three. I don't mind it, but I don't like it because we don't get to use most of the midfield players that we have now when we are now into a back three. But if it's the one that we need to use to bring us forward and win us trophies, and I'll just have to sit and watch it. I don't mind it, but it's just that. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just gonna say because right now it feels like because a back three, or in this case also a back five, it always comes with the connotation that it's defensively minded. But I think with the way we play under Thomas Tuchel, it's actually a bit different. It isn't as defensively minded as you think.
No,
but we do have to take into account as well Burnley, Wolves. Yeah. Once we face an attacking team, we'll really get that.
I think he's playing a back three when attacking, but I think, in general, I think he's an attacking-minded coach. I think we actually are using this defensive formation as an attacking formation, in my opinion, because the way he forced all the players are upfield, like everyone's like on the half line and beyond. So I think he's really trying to attack with this formation. I don't think it's a sit back. He's not sitting back at all. That's why I'm saying like players like ZH and I don't want to see them like not being able to play in the team anymore after we know the potential and the talent that ZH has. So it's a bit, I mean, it's tricky, but it's football. What can we do if the manager chooses not to use ZH? And I know most of the Chelsea fans, they love ZH because he's talented. So it's a very hard one for me to I don't know. What's your thought on that one?
It is the thing. There's a lot of players that are going to eventually be put out of the squad for 1 or 2 games. We've got too big of a squad to even fit everyone in there. Last game, it was Christensen that didn't make the squad. This game, it's Hakim Ziyech that doesn't make the squad. Next game, it could be anybody, really. Like, it could be anybody in that starting 11 whoever isn't in the starting 11 could be any other option to be getting benched because we have so many options off the bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really.
But I also think as well, because apparently Tuchel holds grudges in terms of players' form, I think players are a certain amount of bad games away from just being that player that doesn't make the squad.
Oh, true. But overall, the team performance was so good. But I'm wondering where do we go with when Conte comes back in? Who will be the person to sit on the bench? Will it be Jorginho or Kovacic? Because those
this formation is probably Kovacic.
Yeah,
I said Kovacic and Kante are just too similar. But I still wouldn't play them both together because neither will sit.
I think he's gonna bench Kovacic, but I mean I don't mind. You know, I'm a Kovacic fan, but I don't mind because I think Jorginho under Tuchel is so good because we all see that Tuchel and Jorginho is having some off the field bromance. I don't know if you guys see it, but I think Tuchel loves Jorginho, man, and I mean, no.
Tuchel's a purist, like sorry, he can see a good player when there is one right in front of his eyes, and that is Jorginho.
Bro, I know a lot of the Chelsea fans don't like that, but honestly, Jorginho looks like he's going to be the Verratti of Chelsea because is so far. I mean, yes, it's only Wolves and Burnley, but so far, honestly, we have to go back to the previous manager in the way we set up. I'm not going to call his name because I said not to call his name. But if we go back at the previous manager, when we talk about the formation and how we set up our team, we not using the actual playmaker, number 10 behind the striker. It kills our play. And I think if we go back to even Maurizio Sarri's season, that was Sarri's biggest problem. I don't think playing Jorginho in that defensive role was our problem. Our problem was that we didn't have an attacking midfielder to link play with the wingers or the striker. So
the midfield needs to link up perfectly together, and Leicester City is a great example of that.
Exactly. And that's what killed us under Sarri. Yes, Sarri tactics carried him through, but if you could really look at it, this gap between the strikers and the midfield, it was a big problem. And also under Frank Lampard, that was the main problem why we needed to play Havertz behind the striker. Because right now, since without a link-up play like that is what forced us to play sidewards. Because when Jorginho gets the ball under Frank Lampard or Sarri, it's never going forward. It's always wide. But playing with Tuchel now, I'm not praising Tuchel because any manager who saw that we needed a cam would have done it and they would have got the same results. When Jorginho and Kovacic picks up the ball, where immediately they see it, they play the ball to. They had Mason Mount or what's his name, Timo Werner as the two cams that were playing behind the striker today in the first half. And the second half when Pulisic came on and became that left cam to play with Mount. Immediately, Jorginho, first attempt, when he turns, boom, he found what's his name, Mount going forward. And we weren't getting that from Jorginho under the previous managers where he played. It was always a sideways football where we used to cut and say it's Jorginho's fault for going sideways. But it's not. When you look at it today, it's not really his fault. He had no option than to go sideways. So
as soon as you get to the attacking third, it's just cramped. And if anything, I think Jorginho had more forward passes than Kovacic did.
Yeah, he did. He did. Most of Jorginho's passes today when he was not under pressure. When he was under pressure, he went back to his centre-back. When he was allowed to turn on the ball and look forward, he made all of his passes were going forward. And trust me, I think with Tuchel, as I'm saying, we're not going to overreact and, praise him too much. But, I mean, looking at it from a experienced manager, I can see Tuchel, if he survives the Roman Abramovich slaughter, if he can survive it, I think Tuchel will be a good manager at Chelsea. And the way he has used Hudson-Odoi, I can see that he's not all about using the senior players. He's trying to mix it and give everybody a chance, which is something that we needed to do. Marcus Alonso and Chilwell, that's another battle as well. Because I think if Marcus Alonso comes back and play the best football of his career under Tuchel, then I'm definitely sure that Ben Chilwell will be in the ghost. will be in the ghost, man, because we all know the attacking threat that Marcus Alonso can bring, but it's just the defensive part of football that has always let him down. And if he can master that under Tuchel, then I'm sure Tuchel is going to make Alonso his number one wing back. That's if we play. Whenever we play a 3 or 5 at the back formation, we definitely use Marcus Alonso instead of Ben Chilwell.
3 at the back. I still think the jury's out in terms of Ben Chilwell, only because we've only switched to this when he's been in bad form. So I think the form has just continued on to that. I don't really have much against him being benched because as much as I prefer him to Marcus Alonso, his form doesn't justify it. Same thing when I said I prefer Jorginho as a lone DM. His form wasn't justifying at the time, so I didn't push the propaganda as much. I'm not going to do the same thing in this situation as well. But same way, I'm still not sold on Marcus Alonso yet because I've seen too many bad performances from him at too much of a consistent basis. Yeah. Tuchel is an absolute miracle worker, in my opinion, if he gets me to start believing in Alonso again. It will take a lot to do it. And I don't mean a goal against Tottenham again, because he's known for that. He likes London derbies. He'll have more confidence in that game. Might have a good performance in that game too. I need a consistent run of games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Tuchel can get Marcus Alonso to defend better, then he will be the starting left back. But honestly, I know people might say, like, give me stick for saying this, but I wasn't one of the person that wanted Ben Chilwell at Chelsea. I'm not saying he's not a good left back, and he has played and showed his worth at the club so far, and I think he's a talented left back. But at the time, I think we could have maybe spend that money and get a better left back than Ben Chilwell. That would cost us even less than what Chilwell cost. But I think, as we know, it was the manager's choice of getting Ben Chilwell. So That's the thing that we can't even to argue about it. But with Tuchel now, as he's a new manager, every player is going to get an opportunity to show what they can do, whether he will have them at the end of the season to continue for the next season or go on. But so far, we have not seen, yeah man, Wayne, big up. We have not seen Christensen or Kurt Zuma yet with an opportunity to play under Tuchel. I don't know why they weren't given an opportunity as he's changing around things. But going forward, we just have to see.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with that as well, but I also think like the back five or back four usually does have to stay the same, because that's like one of the biggest issues that we had in Lampard's first season as well. So I understand him trying to stick to a comfortable back three in that case. I do want to see rotation, same way I don't think Spurs is going to be the game we see rotation, so we'll probably still have the same back five.
Yeah, so and Tommy Abraham, I think I don't want to give him too much stick. As in, I know Tommy Abraham is a very talented youngster coming forward, and I think
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, but under Tuchel, I think he just needs to settle down. I mean, maybe the manager being sacked effect is still on him, but I think he needs to relax and try to work on the areas that he's been struggling in, and for Tuchel to really see him, because we can see that the last two games Tuchel has really showed that he looked like he would prefer Tammy Abraham. I don't know why, but we saw him coming off the bench for Giroud in the Wolves game, and he started in this game, and Werner was like behind, like playing the cam role in this game. But Tammy Abraham, I think, will really be a good Chelsea striker in the future, but he just needs to work on his areas. And Timo Werner, he just needs time. I have no problem with Timo Werner. We just need to continue backing our players and just back the manager as well. We know that Lampard didn't get the time, but this is a new manager. We can't look back at the past and say we want Lampard back. We won't see him back at Chelsea maybe until four seasons or 5 seasons if Tuchel or the next manager that comes doesn't work out. But for now, we need to back Tuchel and look forward, and we can see things happening with this manager. I have no problem with Thomas Tuchel. We know what he can do, and with the crop of players that he has already and who he's going to bring in the summer, oh my word, it can only get better. And Chelsea's performance under Tuchel, excellent. The last time I've seen Chelsea play so good like this was under Maurizio Sarri, in terms of controlling the entire game and not really giving the opposition a chance.
Oh no, sorry. When I'm saying I'm agreeing. Oh shit, is he lagged out? Damn it! Like, he was probably going for a good point as well. That's jarring. Yo, Vitmus, you back?
Oh yeah. Sorry, what it went?
Yeah, that's cool. What were you saying again?
Yeah, I was saying, like, for Tuchel and going forward as Chelsea fans, we need to sit back and watch what this manager can do, and we can't bring feelings in this and saying, oh, we shouldn't bring in Tuchel and we needed to keep Frank. Yeah, I think as a Chelsea fan and a lover of Frank Lampard, I wanted to give him until the end of the season, to be honest, but just out of respect. But maybe if it was not him, we would have wanted him out as well. So I think with Frank gone, peace and love to Frank, but at this stage in time now, we need to back Thomas Tuchel and back the players, because looking at it, going forward, I can only see this system of Tuchel getting better. You heard him say it. He wants to build a team that no one wants to play. Oh my word! And we can see it happening. The way the team is playing right now, bro. I can't wait. Exactly. Tuchel is a way more tactician than Frank. As I said, love Frank, but come on, guys. If we are to compete with the likes of Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Jose, even though yes, we know Frank has beaten Jose last season twice, but Jose is still a tactician, and that was his first season as well, trying to get to know these Tottenham players that got their manager sacked, who were with them for like 5 seasons. So I don't think he would have gotten that 100% from them last season. But yeah, as we go to the list of managers, Hasselnut, what's the next one? Ancelotti. We need a manager that can compete with these guys and try to, because that's about 5 or 6 managers I just named, and that could be the top 6. And there's so Frank still cannot compare himself to those guys as a tactician or a manager. So it was the best move for the club going forward, and for the fans, we just need to back our manager and look forward to the future, because Tuchel is bringing something special at the club. I can feel it. And
that good feeling in your heart again. It's been a while, man, hasn't it?
Exactly. Even yourself. It's been a while since I've seen you're all glowed up now, man. You were a few weeks ago, you were looking like a zombie.
Bro, Lampard ball had us all suffering, man. But the first 2 games under Tuchel, man, we're seeing patterns of play. We're seeing stuff we can understand. We're seeing us dominate games in a different way to we've done in ages. That's positivity, and that's something to look forward to. So, yeah, I'm excited for the next few weeks. February, I'm not shook of anymore. I'm now excited because I want to see how we can hang with Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Southampton. Those are the real teams. Those are the real tests. Leeds United as well, Everton. If we get through those run of games in a positive note, then we're serious. But we have to wait and see.
One last thing I would like to add. Chelsea, 9.5 or 9.5 out of 10. We are always lucky to win some major trophy when after changing a manager in half season. So I don't want to really spot it out there that we're going to win the Premier League, because I think that's really hard. But I think we will win something this season with Tuchel. I'm definitely sure we'll have some silverware. Maybe who know, we might be lucky and win the Champions League, or we might win the FA Cup. And if we are super lucky, like if we had the Leprechaun as our friend, I'm definitely sure that if we look at the way the title race is going at the moment, it's not impossible for Chelsea to get back in the title race if we can go on a run of games, as you said. If we can win our next 3 or 4 games and compare it to what happens above us, because as we can see, we are very, very lucky. Everton lost, Leicester lost, Manchester United drew. So it's all happening for Chelsea again. I don't know if you guys can spot that light, but I think there's a chance of us getting back into the top 4, and then if we are lucky, as I said, we can possible maybe try to fight Manchester City for this title, because the way the players are playing, we're not at the level where we'd want to be, but the style of play that we are seeing from Tuchel, if we get it right before we play against the teams in front of us, apart from Tottenham, who we play on Thursday, like the City, the Liverpool, if we can play that type of football and get it correct in every aspect of it, we will definitely be giving those guys a problem. And top 4 for me, it's not a must. I don't want to show it, but it's a possibility we can get there. But I think Europa League will definitely finish in a Europa League spot.
I can't lie. That everything went so perfectly. Then you said the last spot. I can't lie. I still want top 4. Still gotta go top 4.
Yeah, of course. I want it, but it's just
is it more expectations for you? You think we've dropped too much grounds?
Yeah, exactly. We have dropped a lot of ground, bro. Because if you look at the table, most of the teams are ahead of us, and they have 2 games in and to us, and that's something that we play. We're leading them, and then if they win their next 2 games in and they go 6 points clear of us, that's if. It's all about ifs right now. So if the teams in front of us continue to drop points, then it's a possibility we can get top 4. But I don't mind if Tuchel gets us to in Europe, at least in Europe next season, then we have to see that as a plus, because the way we were heading before Tuchel was even finishing like 8 or 9. But now I can see like we have a chance to finish maybe between 6th, 5th, or 4th. That's the spots we're fighting for right now. But I think if things goes our way and the players play the way that we want them to play and Tuchel wants them to play, then I'm 100% sure that top 4 will be there. But it all goes down to how well we play with Tuchel and how the form of the teams above us. I'm not gonna put Manchester City because they're on a level on their own, but Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester City, Manchester United, those teams will have to struggle and drop points in order for us to actually get back in that top 4 race with a few cushion around us.
Oh, I hear that, bro. Well, thank you for jumping on, man. Everyone, Vitmus, is Vitmus TV? Is that your channel? What's the channel name again?
No, it's just Vitmus.
Is it literally? Oh, I thought there was something else to it at the end. I thought, don't tell me you're gonna have a brain fart midway through this. But yeah, is it just Vitmus?
Yeah, man, it's just Vitmus.
Yeah, everyone, check out Vitmus's channel if you guys haven't done it. It is literally Vitmus. I will sort out all the apps when we finish the phone in. But until then, guys, literally Vitmus on YouTube. Check out his channel, like and subscribe. Thanks for jumping on, man. I'll chat to you later on in the week, man. Take care.
Come on, anytime. Take care, bro.
Bless, bro. Bless. Right, we'll move on. And again, like I said, check out Vitmus's channel down in the description below if you guys haven't done it already. Pablo, what are you saying, bro?
Good 3 points for Chelsea. I think we've already probably spoken about a lot, but tactically very good from Chelsea, which was probably like the nice surprise from it. We're talking about dominating the game. It was brilliant from start to finish. Probably the only annoying thing was the fact that we didn't take a lot of our chances. We only made it 2-0 in the 84th, 85th minute. That would be the only worry. But apart from that, complete dominance. The players on the pitch there, I liked the intensity, the attitude, the constant chance creation. Hudson-Odoi at right wing back seriously works in the attacking phase. Like, he is causing all sorts of issues on that side. Good sub at half time to take Tammy off. I thought he was really struggling today. Got Pulisic on. He caused even more issues down that side. Also, he came left, he came right. Him and Hudson-Odoi causing issues. Having Alonso back is just, that guy's, he's inevitable really in the final third. He's just ridiculously good there, isn't he? I still get what you're saying about, let's not get ahead of ourselves with Alonso. We know how much of a liability this guy is. Lampard has benched him for a reason. We've seen a lot of performances from him that have made us think, come on, I've had enough of this guy. But I think in the final third, you can never really doubt just how good he is in that sort of area. But yeah, in general, I think Tuchel, whether it will happen immediately or perfectly in the next games is another matter. But today and for the future, I think he's a smart coach. He's obviously very, very sharp tactically, and with the players Chelsea have got, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and looking at the first 2 games, what do you feel like the possibilities and your expectations for the season are?
I'm always trying to stay realistic, really. I think top 4 is going to be hard, but there's just no reason why we can't get it. I get the feeling if we beat Spurs on Thursday, you really get the feeling I think Tuchel can get us for top 4. I'm not going to lie, but look, if I'm being completely fair and honest, I think realistically, I think Vitmus said it, Europa League would probably be fair, and I hope the board wouldn't get too angry at that. But you never know with Roman and co. But look, Europa League is more realistic. Top 4, I think everyone has to have their sights on. Teams dropping points every week, so why not? Look at Leicester, Everton. If we beat Spurs, constantly. Man United yesterday, it's relentless amount of points teams drop. So if we go on a winning run, no reason why we can't get top 4. But realistically, good run in the FA Cup, real performance against Atletico. They're looking ridiculously good right now. But I'm hoping we can put up something. Tuchel can put up a good tactical plan to take on them, because that is going to be one heck of a test. But look, good against Atletico, good run in the FA Cup, if not winners in the FA Cup, and let's hope Champions League. But if he gets Europa League, I wouldn't be massively upset. I would be at the start of the season, but like Vitmus said, we've lost so much ground now, so you can only expect so much.
Exactly that. And with the way that we've been playing, I think, especially the games that we've got, I don't want to over-exaggerate things, because we're now back in the same spot where we're getting runs against teams below us in the table. And it's like, cool, we got too hyped last time. I want to see how we perform against the bigger sides. The good thing is the tough run of games is coming earlier, so we don't go on a 17-game unbeaten run just to get overly gassed. The bad thing is, well, there's not really any bad things, actually. I don't know why I was trying to find a difference between both. But yeah, I'm just saying, let's all be a bit calm about things. But other than the obvious Callum, Hudson-Odoi and Kovacic, who do you think stood out for you today?
I want to give a shout out to Thiago Silva at the back. Maybe like he's often just passed over because everyone's like, yeah, well, Thiago Silva, of course he's good, but he's come to Chelsea, 36 years old. He's one of the best defenders I've seen in a long, long time since the likes of John Terry when he was just so calm back there and mopped things up. Just the levels that we're seeing from Thiago Silva is just you're talking about no shots on target, but it makes it so much easier when you've got Thiago Silva there. Every time Burnley got remotely close to the half, he nips things away. He's constantly in the defenders and the attackers' heels. So I want to give credit to Thiago Silva. Who else was good today? Mason Mount, I thought, came into the team and he did a good job. I think his shooting was a bit off today, but I love the way Mount plays. I always have done. I think he's probably been overall our best player this season. The way he receives the balls in between lines, and I think Tuchel will very quickly realise, why Lampard used Mount so much and just how good of a player he is. Other than that, you're talking about Jorginho, who I'm a big fan of always. I think he maybe just gets run over a little bit without the ball in the Premier League, but his control, his vision, his positioning, he's a very smart player. Him and Kovacic, when they're on form in the pivot, it's about as good as it gets, but I think it's just whether they can actually be on form is always the question. But yeah, other than that, again, Hudson-Odoi, Jorginho for me, and Thiago Silva at the back, superb.
Yeah, talk to me about the defence as well, because like I was saying on a few of these, the defence was really quietly spoken about. Very underrated performance from the boys today. Thiago Silva as well, another imperious performance from him.
Yeah, I think the defence was very good. I think it's always that classic thing where it's like the attack is the best form of defence. I think Tuchel, we've got that very much with Tuchel, haven't we? That we're attacking so much. We're so relentlessly putting Burnley under so much pressure, Wolves under so much pressure. There's only so much defending we'll have to do eventually. I think they'll be properly tested against Spurs on the Thursday. I really do. I think Spurs are so good at sitting in their block and counter-attacking with pace. So I'm looking at players like Rudiger and Azpilicueta, even Thiago Silva there on the counter-attack. Can we really deal with that in our back three where we're leaving gaps? I'm not so sure, but yeah, I think today they did what they needed to do. Rudiger, Azpilicueta, Silva, all completely comfortable back there, especially Silva. Yeah, like I mentioned, I think it's mainly just how good we are in attack. It makes it so much easier to defend when the team's not getting in your half, when the team's not getting anywhere near your penalty area. It sounds obvious, but things are going to be easier for you. So I think that was the main part about today.
All right, cool. And with that in mind, I do want to ask you as well, what are your thoughts for the Spurs game? Because that's going to be our first serious test.
I'm almost annoyed it's coming round, simply because I think I kind of agree with what Sammy was saying. Was it Tyrese who said it as well earlier as well, that Spurs could hurt us, or Vitmus maybe? Just because I think they can. I think that's the sort of team that would actually maybe frustrate Tuchel's early Chelsea. Because what we've seen so far is relentless attacking, really sharp in the attack, a lot of players getting forward, Hudson-Odoi right wing back. So, that already means we're going to be a little bit light in defence. I think Mourinho likes that. He'll like the look of that. And almost like when Spurs played Leeds earlier on, he loves when teams just throw men forward and leave gaps in behind. And I think they could exploit the gaps we leave like Wolves haven't, like Burnley haven't. I think Mourinho will probably feel, look, we've got a good chance of getting at this Chelsea team. And I'm hopeful because I'm liking the way we're looking. We look sharp tactically. We've got creating good chances. I'm also wary because I do think, like I said, it is the sort of game that plays perfectly into Spurs' hands. So, look, I'm not massively hopeful going into it. I said I'm irritated just because I can see Spurs getting like a 3-1, for example, and then everyone going absolutely, ape shit on Tuchel. So that's what would annoy me. But look, if Tuchel gets a win against Spurs, first top 6 team we would have beaten all season, that would be unbelievable. I think a point would actually be really good. He's talking about this guy being in the job for about a week, so I think a point would be a pretty good result away from home. But
yeah, well, what do you also expect to see from Spurs too? Because Spurs are in really bad form going into this game. Obviously, granted, we do have to wait until the Brighton game, but there's all eyes on that too because they've been low-key slipping, but it's just no one's really noticed because of how bad they've been.
Yeah, I expect them to beat Brighton because Brighton are a little bit similar. I think Brighton will play open. That's clear what Mourinho loves. He loves when teams play open. He's just been waiting every game this season to sit back and hit teams on the break. I think you're right. I don't think Spurs have been that good at all. I think they've got individual errors all across their back line. Aurier, Dyer, Doherty. When they're in their blocks surrounded by 8 players, yeah, they're all right. But when they're having to really make serious defensive involvements, they're struggling. So I think we can get at their defence, and their midfield is strong. I think Højbjerg and Ndombele have had really good seasons. Heung-min Son on attack. If he's in on goal, he's scored. So we've got to be careful with that. That's what I worry about. But I think you're right about Spurs not playing so well of late. I'm just worried about them just because they are the sort of team that Chelsea don't particularly like playing against. You know, they will sit deep and they won't just sit deep like Wolves did. They've actually got that ability on the break as well. Players who can break lines, players who can put the ball in the back of the net. So that's what we've got to be worried about. But yeah, Spurs as a whole haven't been good of late. They've just, I think, they're just suited to playing against Tuchel's Chelsea.
Yeah, they're suited to playing against us.
Yeah, because of what I was saying about, you're talking about Hudson-Odoi and Marcos Alonso will be playing. They're not going to be doing a lot of defending, but we're going to be right up the pitch, trying to carve out chances. If Spurs turn over the ball, they're going to have spaces in behind, and that's what Son ultimately loves. So that's why I think they'll have a good chance. The hope is we've got so many opportunities ourselves that, you know what, Spurs can't get out. We're just pinning them in too much. We're relentlessly attacking them. We're getting Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, whoever's playing on the ball and just relentlessly carving out chances, and then we kill the game that way. But if we are maybe a little bit unclinical like we were today, and then we leave space in behind, all I'm saying is Spurs are the sort of team that can hurt us there.
Okay, cool. Well, Pablo, thank you for jumping on. Do you want to shout out your socials as well, just so people know how to find you?
Yeah, sure. Pablo WB Official on Twitter is mainly where I'm on now. YouTube, I might do a few videos about Tuchel in the coming days, at least, to be fair. So it's just Pablo on YouTube. But yeah, if you guys want to check me out, feel free.
All right, well, Pablo, thanks for coming on, man. I'll see you after the Spurs game. Take care.
See you, Lewis. Cheers.
Bless. We're going to go on to our final three guests before we end up this phone in. We're not going to do a group call for today. We're going to save that for the Spurs match because we keep doing it for every game, especially games like this where there's barely any topics. No one's really going to listen. But we're going to get our next guest. Ryan, what are you saying, man?
What are you saying, man? What are you telling me?
I'm good. First win in a while. First
man.
Even longer while. So yeah, I'm positive. What are you saying?
Yeah, man. It's still something good about this win because the wins against West Ham and Fulham, like it was just all negative, especially the Fulham one, innit? But this win, I feel like we deserved this win. It's the first time that I felt like we deserved the win since maybe Leeds when we beat them 3-1. So you get me. So it's good, man. I think our build-up play was really good. That's the thing. I think it was just us in the final third. We just let ourselves down at times. Like as much as we did get 2 goals, it could have been 3 or 4. Because in the final third, we got really good scenarios. One on like when it's like 4 on 3, and then we just wouldn't do anything with it. And then we take like a weak shot or a cross that nobody attacks. But I think the build-up play to even get into that position is really good, and I think that's down to Kovacic, Jorginho, Hudson-Odoi as well, who found himself a lot. Hudson-Odoi had like a lot of space on that right-hand side, but yeah, I wouldn't say we played that well today, like astoundingly well. I think we played well, not astoundingly well, but I think we played well enough to beat Burnley. But as much as I do say all these things, like it's 3 points that matters at the end of the day. Obviously, we're 7th now. Obviously, Everton and Aston Villa have a game in hand, like 2 games in hand, so they're probably going above us. But sitting in 7th, first win in a while that we feel like we actually deserved. And yes, I'm just gassed for that, man.
Yeah, man. It's all positive all round. Callum Hudson-Odoi had an amazing performance. Who else do you think stood out for you?
Hudson-Odoi stood out for me. Kovacic, what's it called? He was good. Just in the final third, he let him down. But I think him progressing the ball and his link-up play with Jorginho was good. Thiago Silva was a main part of why Thiago Silva was really good as well. But you don't even need to say anything about Thiago Silva because his standards are so high that like his normal game is still very, very good. You get me? Because he just set the bar that high for himself. So who else played well? Yeah, Mason Mount was decent as well, but I just feel like Timo Werner made a lot of runs, and I feel like all 3 of Jorginho, Mason Mount, and Kovacic all didn't find Timo Werner's runs that Timo Werner was making. But yeah, we move on to Spurs, man. Like this is a good win going into Spurs because I didn't want to go into Spurs with a loss. But for Spurs, I think first of all, I think the wing back situation, like Scott said, I think we should play Hudson-Odoi at left wing back and Reece James at right wing back. I don't want to play Pulisic at left wing back because we still need to defend properly and stuff, and then we need Kante for the added protection. But I think Tuchel will tell Kante to not go as forward as much so he can help out on the counter attacks. And then one of Jorginho and Kovacic to play next to him. I don't mind which. probably going to be Jorginho, because Kovacic and Kante are a bit similar. So it wouldn't make sense to play them two together. But I wouldn't mind if it was Kovacic as well. But I think we just need to sort out how we are in the transition. That's the thing. Because all well and good playing these nice passes, 800 passes a game and stuff, and nice through balls, and we hit the post 3 times. But if we're terrible on the transition and Spurs beat us 2-3-0, then I can see that happening. You get me? So we just need to. I think it's all about. If we're good on the transition, I think we'll definitely win for the amount of time we got the ball. And yeah, I think playing Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left as well will be good, because Mourinho will probably plan for Hudson-Odoi to play on the right, where Hudson-Odoi is normally played. So playing him on the left to try to catch Aurier out or Doherty, you'll have to go forward, but are not good defensively. I think that would ruin Mourinho's game plan a little bit. And then Reece James, who's a little bit more defensive than Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi at wing back, he would kind of, because there's going to be maybe Regulon is playing, he probably won't, but that would kind of ruin Mourinho's game plan, you know what I mean? So throw Spanners in the work. I don't even mind who plays against Spurs, because I think everyone's got a point to prove. That's the thing. Like I'd say apart from maybe Kepa, probably Alonso as well, because we know he's a liability, and probably Emerson. I think the rest all have a chance of playing. Like I could see one of Giroud, Abraham, or Werner playing. You could see any of them 3 playing. You could see Kai Havertz playing, Mason Mount playing, Ziyech playing, Jorginho playing, Kovacic playing, Kante playing, Pulisic playing, Hudson-Odoi playing. So there's so many options for Tuchel, because everyone's trying to prove a point to him, that I think as long as you don't put some stupid lineup like Alonso and Azpilicueta at a right wing back and that set up really defensively, I think we got a chance of beating Spurs. Kane as well, who's their main threat. That's Son's main supply. So if Kane isn't there, it's going to be a lot better for us. But yeah, on to Spurs, man. If Tuchel wins against Spurs, I think that's putting out a statement, because we played well against Wolves, played well against Burnley. But if we beat Spurs, that puts out a statement that Tuchel ain't just going to beat these small little teams. He's there to beat big teams as well. He's there to try to beat every team he can. You get me? So yeah, man. Like I'm just gonna move on to Spurs, and that obviously there'll be a lot of build up to Spurs anyway, so I'm not even gonna say too much about it. But yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts? Because I know you got to head off quick.
Yeah. Thiago Silva is a big difference in our team. I think the way he sniffs out danger, and the way you see that chance where Thiago Silva clamped that guy. What's his name? I don't know, when the striker got the ball and Thiago Silva just came and ran through him, yeah? It's just little stuff like that. Like Thiago Silva does it on numerous occasions for us. He comes out and then he just gets the ball quickly and starts another attack. So yeah, I think our ball recoveries is very well as well. Like people will say, "Oh, you had the ball because Burnley didn't want the ball." Nah, they were trying to press us. And whenever they did get the ball as well, we would get it really quickly. Like Wolves, like our ball recovery is very good as well. And yeah, I think for Tuchel as well for now, I think it's just I don't think he's implemented his full tactics yet. You can see he's implemented it, but maybe not to the certain extent he wants. But I think for now, even if we don't play great games, it's all about grinding out results. And then I think next season we'll see the real deal, or maybe the end of this season. But yeah, man, there's good things to come. I always say this to you: there's good things to come with Tuchel, Lewis. There's good things to come with Tuchel.
Damn right, bro. Well, thank you for jumping on, man.
Thanks for having me on, Lewis, man. Big ups. I know you got a queue, 2 more people. Big up, Lewis, man.
Take care, bro. Bless.
Take care.
Yeah, moves us on to the penultimate guest. Dag, what you saying, bro? Chat to me.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. We've already spoke as well on the group call leading up to this, but it's been a while. You've had a chance to analyze the game a bit more. What's your thoughts? Anything's changed? Anything stay the same? What do you feel?
Yeah. So I went ahead and I rewatched the highlights of the game, because when you watch the game for the first time, you get the general feeling of the overall play. But then when you go back and rewatch the highlights, you get to see in depth what we messed up on our attacking options. And to be honest, literally the only thing that was lacking was the finishing touch. And the only thing that not accredited to, but I feel like the only reasoning for that is that we just haven't played in this system long enough for us to really know which places are the best places, which places are going to be open, which positions are going to be, which positions on the field when the crosses come in are going to be the best places to really occupy. But for today, it was it was good. I mean, we got the win. That's all that I was really that I was hoping for. I wasn't expecting like a 4-0 battering or like, and it could have been. It very well could have been. It could have been 4, 5, 6. Like we had so many shots and we had so many opportunities that we really, if we had our finishing boots on, we would have been able to get. Not, of course, we got the 3 points, but we would have been able to absolutely wipe them. But I feel like everyone said what there is that needs to be said. The most important part for me was that we had 75% possession, right? But the most important part was that even when we didn't have it, the effort that we put into getting it back and the effort that we put into closing the gaps, closing the passing lanes, it was just incredible. The pressing that we were doing was incredible. But that's what we wanted to see from the beginning, of course, of Tuchel's reign. But that's what we wanted to see from the previous manager, as Vitmus likes to say. But hats off to Jorginho. I'm happy that he's doing well because I always thought, like how we say Mason Mount was Frank's boy. I always thought of Jorginho the same way under Sarri. And I thought, there's no way. I don't know what he's still doing at this club. I don't understand why he's still here. He doesn't fit our system at all. But now he's being able. He get his strengths are being exploited, and he's really working. The squad is working together, and the chemistry is being built. And you know what? I'm looking forward to the Spurs game. Now, the only thing that I think we may be overlooking is that yes, they don't have Harry Kane, but they have Bergwijn, they have Lucas, they have Lamela, right? Something that we did really well this game was that we did not concede any set pieces in our half, right? That's how Burnley get most of their goals. That's how they scored 3 against what's their name? That's how they scored 3 against who did they just beat? Was it Everton?
Who? Spurs?
No, Burnley.
No, Villa.
Villa, yeah. But yeah, the way they scored was their set pieces, and that's their most efficient way of scoring. But the problem that I have with the Spurs side is they have some, I'm not going to lie, they have some divers, right? So they have the positions on the counterattack, and they can get a set piece on our side of the pitch. Like, they're going to go for it, right? So my only hope is that I would prefer to have Conte in this game just to cover the spaces a little bit more, because I love Kovacic, the way that his press resistance, the way that the way that he controlled the midfield along with Jorginho, it was excellent today. But again, like we were talking about it during the watch along, it's just the final ball is just he's so close. He's almost there to being like the best midfielder at our club, right? But it's just that one final touch that we need, and he hasn't really been able to really link it up like that. But it's as I said, as time goes on, we'll see how it goes. But for the Spurs side, you know what? I think if we set up attacking like we did today, I don't think we will be overrun. If we put Ben Chilwell on the left, I think obviously that'll give us a lot more defensive cover. But like Scott said, I would not be against having Cho on the left and having Reece on the right as wingbacks, because like we know, if Reguilon is fit and if he's on the side, right? That's the left side is Reguilon and Son. That is efficient, and it's very potent. And so that is the attack that I'm only really scared of. That's why I would prefer to move Cho to the left side, because I feel like these past 2 games he's had a lot of experience playing attacking right wing back football. But the defensive side, although he has made some key saves, I don't know if he's going to be up for it when he's constantly getting overlapped, right? So I want to go into this game with a little bit of enthusiasm. I want us to pull out with a win. I think we'll be able to win 2-1. I'm not going to lie. I think it'll be one of those games where of course, they're going to sit back. But I genuinely think that with this system, we'll be able to create chances. And I genuinely believe that we'll be able to convert those chances as well.
All right, cool. Any final thoughts before we end this?
That's it. But I want to give a shout out to not Marcos Alonso. I want to give a shout out to my captain, Aspi, for coming up big and really just putting his finishing boots on for once, because apparently none of our strikers or none of our attackers want to. And dude, it hurts me to say, but I think Tammy is a championship level striker. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it in the Premier League because the way that he's built, right? I feel like if he starts bulking up, he's going to lose the little bit of speed that he has, and then that's just going to make his play even slower, which I don't know if it's going to be best for him. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I hope he progresses a little bit more, and I hope he starts working on some balance workouts. But we'll see how it goes.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on, bro. Massively appreciated. We'll shout to you after the Spurs game.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect, bro. You take care. Right, we'll move on to our final guest. Yes, Nippon, what are you saying, man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, thoughts on the game today, bro?
Good. You can see my reactions to the goals on my channel. And if there are any rival fans saying that it's just Burnley, let me remind you, this is the same Burnley team that ended Liverpool's home unbeaten record. They're never going to go 80 games unbeaten.
Damn right.
Yeah, that's something we're going to do forever.
1-0. Yeah, nearly 1-0 Liverpool.
Just to get that clear to rival fans. Everyone saying that, it's just Burnley.
Yeah, but same way, we can only take it with a pinch of salt. Because same way, Liverpool were just poor in terms of their finishing in that game. We took 2 of our chances.
Yeah. I'm in a different setting today because, my dad uses the office whenever he's at work. So that's why I'm in the living room today instead of the office.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is why most of my videos which is why I do most of my previews at night, because that's when the office is free.
All right, cool.
So that was, that should be goal of the season contender.
The Marcus Alonso goal was sick, wasn't it?
The chested volley.
Yeah.
When I saw him on the starting lineup, I'm saying there is a mistake loading in him. I was like, we are winning. I was still like, we're winning this game, but Burnley are going to score.
The same way, that also does show the threat that Burnley can possess on the counter. I say can. We really did well to nullify that.
Yeah.
Well, it was an easy game for us. It's a game that we should be winning.
Exactly. Our big test is going to come against Spurs. And I kind of heard that Thomas Tuchel is a Spurs fan.
Nah, all rumors.
I hope that doesn't let it get to him.
Ain't true.
Anyway, I think I'm going to call it safe and say we're going to draw that game.
All right, cool. Talk to me about your thoughts on today's performance, though. Who impressed you?
Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, go on. What did you like about his play today?
Yeah, his assist to, I believe it was the opening goal of the game. Yeah, he impressed me. And Timo, he is trying. Like, so many people are saying, he's just another Morata. He's just another waste. Morata gave up after 5 games.
Basically.
He's trying. And I do think he will come good in the end.
Damn right. What about the midfield, though? What was your thoughts on Mount, Kovacic and Jorginho today?
One of those 2 has to be dropped for the Spurs game.
Damn right.
Because I want Conte to start every. Put it this way,
Conte should be back for that game.
Yeah, if he's fit for that, I want Conte to start for every Big 6 team, as in against every Big 6 team.
Yeah, definitely, he should do. He's still one of our best players.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't want to hear all these. Indeed, no. I don't want to hear all these. Højbjerg. These Partey. No, Kante is still the best out of both of them.
Yeah, but Amal.
Exactly.
Still rating N'Golo Kante when he's fully fit.
Yeah.
And also being played to his strengths as well.
Because he's best when he's played as a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
A lone DM, just like Thomas Tuchel said. He plays well in a double six.
Exactly that.
And yeah, I quite like what Thomas Tuchel said in his first press conference. That's what I want to hear from a manager.
What impressed you the most?
What do you mean?
What impressed you the most from his press conference?
The fact
that impressed you.
The fact that he said that I want to build a team that other teams are scared of playing. That's what I want to hear from a manager. But something tells me he's going to play a 4 at the back against Spurs.
Really? What formation do you think we're going to see?
I think a 4-4-2 with Giroud and Werner as the strike partnership.
Giroud and Werner. Yeah, I mean, I would rate that. Tammy Abraham's performance today wasn't really all that good, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was one of the negatives.
He's good as an impact sub. You know, like you had in the old Premier League teams of old. Like, for example, Solskjaer when he was a player for Man United.
Yeah.
Javier Hernandez, those type of players. He'd make a good impact sub.
Yeah, I do think like having Tammy Abraham as our number 3 choice right now isn't the worst thing in the world. Last season it was Michy Batshuayi, so our quality of strikers has improved at least.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind having Tammy as an impact sub, but not as a starter, especially in any of the big games.
All right, cool. Any other parts of the game that you want to talk about?
Chilwell. I don't see why people have such an agenda against him.
Yeah, there's too many bad comments about him now today just because Alonso had a good game. And I think we still have to remember how good Chilwell can be as a left-back.
Yeah. I mean, granted, he's not the best in the league, but he's not one of the worst either, if you know what I mean.
Oh, he's definitely up there with the best.
But he's not the best, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that probably still goes to Trent. No, not Trent. Fucking Andy Robertson. Yeah, got the wrong fullback. Fuck's sake. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, Reece is better than Trent. Let me just put that out.
Oh, yeah. We can throw that one out there too. Reece James's levels clear of Trent.
Because you saw what Trent was without Van Dijk. Anyone will look good if they have Van Dijk in defence.
Yeah, Liverpool have been low-key struggling this season. I mean, you say that, they're still about...
Yeah.
No, how many points they clear of us now? It's only 4 points if this result stays the same. That just shows how tight the race for top 4 is. That's why we need to start getting a run of results now.
The worrying thing about Tottenham is, like, I know they're in bad form right now, but there's a saying called, an animal is at its most dangerous when it's at its most vulnerable.
Yeah, and we all view Spurs as animals here at Chelsea anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to get complacent, hence why I predicted a draw. But I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. Whether it was a draw, a win for us, or a win for Spurs, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened. Because it's a derby. Anything is possible.
Exactly that. I echo those exact same resentments. Any final thoughts, mate?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is shout outs to my social. You can follow me on Twitter on the Nipun Sharma. That is the Nipun Sharma. And my YouTube channel is just my name. I left it in the private chat.
Right, one second.
People subscribe to. You can put it in.
I'll drop that in the description below with the others as well. Oh, yeah. Salah's just made it 1-0. Fuck's sake.
Oh.
Here's what it is.
Yeah, I've got the One Football app, so I have all the things coming my way as well.
Yes, guys, and if you haven't checked out already, please do check out the One Football app. The links are in the description below. Download it now. Thanks for that, man. That was the final plug I needed to do anyway. Yeah, everyone check out Nippon socials. We are going to leave it in the description below as well. Put it in the comment section too. Nippon, thanks for jumping on, man. We'll see you after the Spurs game.
See you after the Spurs game, man.
All right, take care, bro.
Take care.
All right, well, guys, this is the end of the phone. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this. We will see you in a few days for Tottenham versus Chelsea. You know, it's the time when you get faced the top 6 side. This is when I'm really going to enjoy the previews. Also, we ain't even in the worst form, so I'm going to be enjoying the next few days. But, guys, hope you all have enjoyed this phone-in. It is a confident win for the first time in ages. So let's try and take that for what it is. Let's not try and look too deep into it. Tuchel is still building his side, so Spurs will be our first serious test. But I'm optimistic. I'm more optimistic than I've been in ages. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. But until then, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out my personal channel, Carefree Lewis G. Royal Rumble watch along will be dropping tonight as well, so check that one out. And we'll see you guys very soon. Take care and up the Chelsea.